the sun brought a ride on my core. This is the moment you're meant to know.
Well, hello there, sunflowers. We good? Yeah. Well, hello there, sunflowers. And how are you guys today? Well, I'm here to talk about none other, yet again. Are we surprised? No. Holly Bailey. First off, before I get into the real reason why I'm here to talk about her, some update on her and DDG. Apparently, DDG had asked for permission to be able to visit Italy. So DDG had asked for permission to see his son while Holly is over in Italy recording for a movie. And the judge did grant him permission. However, he is not allowed to have a third. Apparently, they need a third party there, and that third party is not supposed to be his mom because Haley said, "No, not you and your mother watching this baby. No, we need a completely neutral, objective person." So they was looking for I forget the exact name, a something monitor is what they're looking for. So because of that. I don't know, guys. It's looking interesting. It's looking interesting with the whole. I don't know. They that their custody battle over Halo is just quite sad. And if you didn't see my last reading that I did, I basically my last sentiment was, and my sentiment still is, justice, and prayers up for Halo, because this is just too much for this baby to have to go through. And then this is all over the internet on top of that, but I digress. I'm here to truly talk about Haley and how she feels about her self-image, because Haley did it again. Brave face, another one. She makes good music. Because I Love You. This is great. I'm enjoying this content that she is giving us as a musician. Thank you, Holly. Brave Face was beautiful. You looked beautiful. The aesthetics was beautiful. However, I understand exactly the connotation that you meant by the fact that you called it brave face, because the quite irony of it is that you really don't have a brave face. And that's exactly what her song was all about. Putting on concealer to conceal from you, putting on some blush because I'm flushed. Hope they can't read between the liner. Yes. Yes. This is exactly what she was talking about. And then the last thing she said is saying that I know, basically saying F my flaws because I know I'm strong. That's how I put on my brave face. Okay. You put on your brave face by putting on makeup, trying to look beautiful for everybody else, telling yourself that you're perfect no matter how much you try to cover up your flaws. I'm still perfect. I'm still beautiful. Everybody still loves me. And so I post pictures of myself. I seek validation online and people give it to me until they don't. And then I'm insecure. And then I say, delete it, delete it. Where's the brave face there? You're supposed to have a brave face. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but your words will never hurt me. That didn't seem pretty brave to me, actually. That seemed pretty cowardly. Over your body that did not look anything wrong with it. You complaining about the fact that I will read some quotes here. She has posted this in the beginning of the early of the year, but I'm bringing you guys evidence to tell you guys exactly why I'm here today to do this reading on Holly. So she said, this was very back in the beginning of she had Halo. She said right now, currently, I am a little bit thicker than I usually am. And I don't really know. I feel really secure. I'm pretty sure she meant insecure about it. A little bit. Because all my life, I've been 120 pounds. Really skinny. And then I had my baby. And then I was breastfeeding. I lost a bunch of weight. Congratulations. And then she said, so I felt like my body sort of snapped back where I thought I did at one time. But it was still very off. Now that I'm 25, blaming her age. I mean, fair enough. I understand. I just feel like, oh, the weight is sticking a little bit more. It does. Okay. I haven't had a lot of time. This is my first time taking a break. Now she's blaming her career. Like being on this vacation with my sister. And then you said delete those pictures. I was filming every day and being a mom to Halo every day because GDG wasn't there because he's a deadbeat dad. I didn't have time anywhere between being on set and being with Halo to work out. So I'm a little bit fluffy right now because I kind of fell off my consistent workouts. But I do feel a little insecure about it. Okay. Put your insecurities out there, hoping that nobody's going to talk about your insecurities. You know what? She's like, that's the Aries for you to come out and be like, you know what? Let me tell you my insecurities. Let me tell you what hurts me. You can't use it against me. Yeah, when you guys still talk about it and it still hurts me, and now I have to go make a song about how I have to put on a brave face. And yet she was showing her body, especially when she started stripping off at the end to say, I love me. I love my body. And all this postpartum miss and all this fluffy fat. I'm like, okay. You think you looking real confident in that music video, but when you was posing with your sister, and you didn't even look that bad. You really didn't. You didn't even look bad, period. You just looked like a normal girl. A normal girl. Just literally. A normal woman. A normal female. With a normal body. Can we please standardize, normalize all bodies instead of one type of body so people like Holly Bailey does not have to go through insecurities like this. And that brings me back to how much she feel about herself. Maybe this goes back to her song with Because I Love You. I always talked about that song and how for the fact that came out shortly after she had a baby with DDG. I'm just like, man, that's how much she must feel about DDG. I do everything because I love you, babe. If I come off stalkerish, if I come off controlling, if I come off crazy, it's because I love you. That's insecurity talking. And I was wondering about that then, and I'm still wondering about it now. And now she has a song called Brave Face, where she talks about how she has to make herself beautiful in order to conceal her insecurities. I mean, a message like that, yes, 100% is going to go mainstream because that's exactly what people need to hear these days. That people like Holly have insecurities, no matter how beautiful she is, no matter how much she was the first Black mermaid princess, no matter how much she had the flowing locks and she still kept her all ethnicness while still being the, if you want to call it, the blackwash version of Ariel. I mean, come on now. Haley was progressive. She's a bit odd looking. She's exotic. She's an odd beauty. That's another thing that she had to work with, deal with, grow up with. And now that she's famous, now that she's the Disney princess, now that she's the basically the Hollywood it girl, everybody wants her. She's on this top of this pedestal. You would think she would be the girl that thinks that she's the bad bee in charge, the head bee, the alpha female, somebody that is confident, somebody that knows her worth and know who she is, and nobody can bring her down. You would think that would be the girl, right? Yeah, especially as an Aries, you would think that's who she would be, but that's exactly the opposite of who she is. And because of that, the contradictoriness is starting to come out in her music, starting to come out in how she treats DDG, starting to come out, and when you start to think, who is Holly? So because of that, I'm here to do a reading on these cards to figure out. I mean, I gave evidence to say I think she's insecure. However, I want the cards to tell me if she's insecure. Because like I said, all those great, amazing things, you would think wouldn't be insecure. I mean, period. Fire signs, period. Aries, Sagittarius, and Leos. You would just expect them to be so self-assured of themselves that they don't need anybody else. So for Holly to not embody that, it's just like, what's broken in this Aries? So that's what I'm here to find out truthfully, honestly, once and for all. Get a soul reading on Holly Bailey and how she feels about herself and her self-image. The Tower. Let's find out. Okay, we have the Fool. We have the Four of Cups. We have the Seven of Wands. And the Mother or the Queen of Pentacles. And let's see the outside influences. The Devil. Okay. Oh, okay. Then we have the Queen of Cups. Wow. Isn't this quite interesting? Oh, I'm going to enjoy this one. So where do I even start with Holly? I'm not even kidding you guys. Do I start in the past or do I start in the future or do I start in the present? Because I want to get to this Tower, but I also want to get with this Empress. It's like both of them are just so telling, so juicy. I want to dive into both of them, and I'm not sure where I want to start my story from, honestly. So I guess we'll just start with the past. Figure out how we got to this present moment with this Tower moment. So in the past, we have with Holly, the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups is usually somebody that doesn't just accept anything. Somebody that's picky. Like it, don't like it. Wiki, Mickey, I'm so picky. Yeah. K-pop song. I know it was really random to bring that in, but this is what makes me think of just being picky, and just because you can, because you have these standards, because you know what you want, but also at the same time, you could be picky because you're picky about yourself. That's this look. They say relationships are just a mirror of how you feel about yourself, and how you treat others is how you treat yourself. Like they say, treat others how you would want to be treated. And yes, well, we may think that we treat others how we would want to be treated. In turn, and in reality, we are really going to treat others how we would really treat ourselves, because we cannot give more than what we can only give to ourselves. Like if you're on empty, your car can't drive like it's full. So if you're energetically so much giving out, then I'm sorry, I'm doing a lot of waving, but it just can't work. So because of that, because she's so picky about everything else, so meticulous. I gotta look like this. I gotta look like that. I gotta weigh like this. I gotta dress like this. I have to style my hair like this. I gotta pretend to be this, pretend to be that. Don't be like this. Don't be like that. So she has all this that she looks at herself in the mirror and at the end of the day and honestly finds more flaws than perfections, that she cannot be truly happy with herself. So therefore, she tries to find things to fill her love and happiness, which is this devil. Fill her time with the grander things of life, what life can give her, the luxuries, what the money can get her, fashion, stylists, makeup artists, attention from men, from women. At one time you didn't think you're beautiful, now you think you're beautiful. But now that you have all this money and status and it's all fake attention, now you're double thinking. You're just like, do they just want me because of my money? Do they just want me because I was the little mermaid? Like, do they just want me because of who I am, or do they want me because of who I am? And because of that, she starts getting lost in the delusions that she has self-picked herself into. The picking dug her into a hole, and now that she's in the hole, she has to figure out, in the best, most empressly way, how do I make myself look beautiful? How do I get in my feminine energy? How do I start giving back to myself, loving myself, giving myself that self-care, so that way I'm stronger and thicker, and that way nobody can penetrate and make me feel a certain type of way about myself. I am going to be that Aries. I am going to be that ram, that goat that you don't see coming, but you're going to hear me roar, basically. So that leads us to the tower moment, which is the same sentiment I got in her last reading, where she has finally drawn a line and is creating boundaries and is saying no to DDG, saying no to certain things, saying no to herself, saying no to the internet. She is learning to say no. She's learning to assert herself, assert her femininity without losing her femininity. She's learning to assert herself, be confident in herself without being arrogant, be confident in herself without being narcissistic, being confident in herself without being selfish. So those are all the things that she's got to do. And then, maybe she has some stereotypes that she has to work against about what the general public is going to label her as. So she then has to work against that too. And she's just like, I don't want to be labeled. I just want to be myself. Why this? Why that? So therefore, we come to the Seven of Wands, which is where she starts creating boundaries, start defending herself, starting to let her own light shine. However, she has to go about that. If that means looking like an insecure, jealous bee, then so be it, because I'm confident within myself now. I'm doing what's right for me. And if you guys don't like it, it's right for me. You don't live my life. You don't control me. So that's the attitude that she's coming up with. So this Fool is this new journey that she's embarking. Something has fundamentally changed within inside of herself, that she is now becoming a new person and is starting to embody that and energetically radiate it out. So it may have taken some time. Maybe while she was inside with Halo, she was working on herself, doing all this, because maybe now that she's a mother, now she realized she has a newfound purpose in life. And now that newfound purpose in life has her wanting to work on herself and better herself for her child. You know how it goes once you get a child. You start thinking, oh, I got to be a good role model. Oh, I got to set an example. Oh, I got to have this kind of environment. I want this and I want that. She has basically had the audacity and attitude to say, I am the mother and the father in the relationship. I can raise this baby my damn self. So that's how she's becoming. She's trying to be assertive, be masculine without losing her femininity. So because of that, we see in the near future the Mother of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, but also the Queen of Cups. Two both good feminine energies. I see feminine energy all up in this. Halle has definitely tapped into her feminine energy, her receptivity, her transmuting this energy. She has all this pent up energy within herself that she's learning to transmute it, repurpose it, reuse it, redefine it, make it for the better. Instead of using all this hate, let me turn this hate into love. Instead of all this doubt, let me turn this doubt being into proactivity, being able to look at myself and be like, you know what, girl, you are doing your best that you can do. Look at you. You're a mother. You're acting, you singing, you're doing this, you're doing that. Give yourself some grace. So, she's trying to give herself that prep talk. That's where that masculine energy comes in. That's where the put the feelings aside. Don't care what they say. Just do, be, and don't think, just react. That's fire for you, and that's Aries at its finest. And we see her do that. She could maybe be a little bit more impulsive than she usually is, but that's just that awkward phase of her finding herself. However, we see here the five of wands, which the fives are never good, but the five of wands symbolizes friction. She is having mental conflictions, whatever you want to call it. She's having she's mentally conflicted about how she is presenting herself or coming off in the media. Maybe that's because she has to act. Maybe she has to get into this role, and her hormones are still all over the place, kind of, sort of. So, it's just a sensitive time. But because this is in the future, maybe this is after she has finished acting, she has taken her time away from DDG, the hormones have been able to mellow out, then she could finally come back to her senses, or come back to a different reality, or come to a different terms of how she wants to go about Halo and DDG situation. But in the near future, we definitely see that there is some friction, and it is friction that upsets her, the best way I can say, because we have the Mother of Pentacles. It upsets her financially. It upsets her status. It upsets her sense of stability. And then it upsets the Queen of Cups. It upsets her emotions. It upsets her chemical balance. It upsets her getting her all up in flux and feeling her feels again. So we're back to that insecurity again, not being fully completed within yourself, whole within yourself, and being comfortable with yourself. Okay. These are the two cards that wanted to come flying out. We have cold. Yikes. Where'd the other card go? Oh, okay. What is that? Oh, that's a good card. That was a cracked mirror. And that usually doesn't come up. And a cracked mirror, 100%, always meaning having delusions about yourself. When you look at a cracked mirror, you're seeing yourself from all different angles. You're seeing yourself not clearly, distorted. It's like going to a fun house and these mirrors are playing tricks, mental mind games on yourself. This is how Halle feels with herself. She's playing mental games with herself about her self-image. She can't see clearly, think clearly about herself. So therefore, she has gotten cold with herself. Instead of trying to find that love within herself. I mean, she could be working on it. But here we have a sense of isolation, numb, withdrawing, and less affection. So therefore, when it comes to her self-image, honestly, it's not the best. It's not the healthiest for her mental health or her physical health. Honestly, A cracked mirror is giving me like body dysmorphia. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a mental health specialist here either. I'm just saying, when you can't see yourself the way everybody else sees you, that typically there's something wrong with that. So because of that, and that's why she's coming off harsher, doing things that are out of character, that you would think, why are you being so, shing, just cutting things off? Like, why are you just being so just insufferable, basically? And that's also an Aries fire too, because it's at the very beginning. It's the loudest flame. It's gonna burn, it's gonna scorch, it's gonna be hot, it's gonna be all consuming, but it can also burn itself out very easily and very quickly if they don't replenish themselves. So that's what Halle has to go through, being able to replenish herself, because she sure doesn't do that, because she's so busy using everybody else to replenish herself. Give me feedback, tell me how you guys see me. Do I look good to you? Do I look beautiful? Do I approve? Do I meet your standards? Would you date me? Would you have my baby? Would you want to be seen with me in public? Can you deal with me and my because I love you, babe, I'm so crazy? Like, she's like, can you deal with that? So because of that, she's just like flying all over the charts and all over the place, and she's really got to recenter herself. And that's that Venus energy, because the planet Venus, but also just in astrology and feminine energy period, it can be beautiful, it can be enticing, it can be intoxicating, but also all at the same time. If you dig deeper and beneath the surface and look past the surface, look past the brave face, look past the glam, the glitz, the beauty, you get down to volcanic eruptions. You see things that are just unstable, erratic, unpredictable, something very dangerous, something that's very destructive. It's like a moth being drawn to the flame. So it's a double-edged sword. So with feminine energy in that sense, so you got to be able to control it. You got to be able to hone it in. You got to be able to not be able to destroy yourself along the way while creating a path. So Halle has all this that she's got to work through, and she has a child, and she has to do at a young age at that, and she's the baby sister, and we wouldn't have expected that from her, given her looks. Beautiful and dangerous, I tell you. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading on Halle. I sure did. I felt like I got a better sense of her. Yes, the cards definitely told me that she was insecure. Yes, she definitely hides that by using everybody else as a defense mechanism. As long as everybody else approves, I can approve of myself. So therefore, as long as everybody else loves me, I don't have to work on myself, because there's nothing wrong with me. But then when somebody picks out there's something wrong with me, I gotta hyperfixate and hyperfix it, so that way I can be beautiful and perfect again. Which there's no such thing. Yes, there's such thing as beautiful, but there's no such thing as perfect. And it's a cycle that you're just going to keep chasing, going around and around and around. And you'll never be happy with yourself, because you're just chasing happiness and validation outside of yourself, and you have to seek that validation within yourself. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed that reading on Halle. I sure did. Please give this video a thumbs up. More importantly, subscribe, please, if you enjoyed this content. Share this with anybody who would enjoy this reading with Halle, or if you know somebody that could be feeling these types of feelings, this reading could be for them. Or hey, this reading could be for you. Like I try to remember to say in these videos, I know I haven't been saying it lately, but these celebrities are always just a voice, a picture, and a representation for somebody out there that is going through something. So that way somebody out there knows that they are not alone in this situation. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading again. And with that being said, leave your comments down below if you enjoyed this. How do you feel about her? How do you feel about the situation? And with that being said, I will see you sunflowers in the next one. Sunflowers!